back to the DMG's Third and Wrong YouTube channel. My name is Mike, and then obviously we're here with Gage and Dylan today. Fellas, how's it going?
It's going good. This is like the third or fourth time we've had to do this intro, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Yeah,
Real
we're
funny.
we're real professional and on top of our game here. So
Like always around here.
I like always. But yeah, no, I'm excited to get in this mock draft. We've got a lot happened since our last one. So we got some new players in the first round, and we got some new two-pick players in the first round as well. So should be
Yep.
exciting. Sorry, Colts, Bears, and Dolphins fans, you're not having a pick in the first round here. So
Yep.
just stay tuned. We're getting the second round mock draft coming out, which is going to be our first second round mock. So just look forward to that as well.
Yep. So, with all that being said, before we get into the video, make sure you guys smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you guys enjoy content like this. And we're going to jump right into this first round mock draft here with the first overall
Let's
pick.
go.
So at the first overall pick, we've got Evan Neal going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, offensive tackle from Alabama. We just kind of really all agree that protecting Trevor Lawrence is your best avenue for this team to succeed. I think you could probably do better with a defensive end potentially here, but Trevor Lawrence did not have a great time last year, and you can't keep relying on that
Same
offensive
offensive line.
to do that. Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean they tagged Cam Robinson. They still have Juwan there, and Walker Little is still on the come up as a tackle in the NFL. But I think all that being said, it doesn't preclude you from taking someone like Evan Neal here. So some people think it does, but it doesn't really.
well, second overall, Dill.
Yeah, Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. He was someone that everyone's been keeping an eye on since last year. He has some ridiculous abilities. His just ease of throwing the deep ball is something to watch, and his just escapability as a runner is also very impressive. He's got a lot of work on, but those are some traits that put you as a franchise quarterback in today's game. So Lions don't necessarily need to take a quarterback, but they're not going to have Jared Goff as their franchise guy. And having your pick of the litter here is very valuable. So we went Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty, number 2.
Yeah, slight overreaction to the pro day, but it's kind of more of just what we're reading and hearing. All of a sudden, his name's popping up a lot more on there, and then you're also hearing a lot like Baker Mayfield maybe getting traded to the Lions as well because they've got John Dorsey in the front office there. Guess we'll have to see. I don't hate the pick, I should say.
Yeah.
Mikey?
Yep, number 3 here to the Houston Texans. They select Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. I like this pick a lot for the Texans because you're drafting a guy, and we've said this all before, but you're drafting a guy that can do multiple things on the defense. He's not just a safety. He's a safety. He's a corner. He can line up at edge. You can honestly put him at linebacker too. Like you can put him just about anywhere on the defense, besides maybe like a defensive tackle or something. But he can do a bunch of different things. He's probably one of the most athletic guys in the draft. But I think with the Houston Texans situation, they're getting rid of Justin Reed to the Chiefs. And then just needing a whole bunch of things to help out your team. And I think getting a guy like Kyle Hamilton that can kind of do it all per se on the defense, I think that's well worth a third overall pick for a guy like Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, and this draft is just flooded with edge right now as well.
He's the best player in the draft.
Yep.
I think that could be a fair consensus, and if you can get him in the third pick, I don't hate it. It also gives them a little bit more leeway now with that Deshaun Watson trade because they have a second first-round pick. So go ahead and get the best player in the draft, and you can worry about quote unquote need later on, since they need everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Dill, or I guess this is me actually.
Yeah.
We do have the New York Jets taking Aiden Hutchinson. You know, obviously the edge from Michigan, probably the favorite, and I shouldn't say probably. He is the favorite currently in draft odds for the #1 overall pick. I can see it. I think 4, if you see him go here at 4, it's a drop for him. It's just how he mocked it up in this scenario. I think the Jets would get a steal in this situation. There's really not much more to say about it. He's very good.
Yeah. I would say this is something that I could see if Aiden Hutchinson doesn't go #1 overall, you could see a potential trade down from the Lions to the Jets because this would be a great pick for Saleh. And if the Lions aren't looking for Aiden Hutchinson, they might be calling the Jets and saying, "Hey, do you want to skip the line?"
Yeah, maybe do their 4th overall pick and then one of their 2nd round picks, so the Lions
Yeah.
have more picks.
But
Moving
yeah,
down, Dylan.
yeah, I'm blurry, but Ikem Ekwonu, Sticky Icky, he's arguably the top tackle in this draft. Just depends what you see out of him, what you're feeling you can get him to develop into. But the Giants need a tackle. Plus, they're getting a blue chip tackle. You can't really line it up much better. So I think this is no brainer for the Giants at this point. The only other tackle that you could consider is Charles Cross, but I think since Icky is such a better athlete, you go with the better athlete.
He's our #1 tackle. We personally like Icky the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yep, 6 overall, Carolina Panthers. They select Charles Cross, tackle out of Mississippi State. Few different things going on down there in Carolina. I know, God, who's their head coach? I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Matt Rule.
Yeah, Matt Rule. I know I've seen them at a few of the quarterbacks pro days. They're always looking at the quarterbacks, but I feel like they're just going to roll with either Sam Darnold or PJ Walker or whoever else they've got down there. And I think you might as well just build up that line, protect who you're going to roll with. And I think Charles Cross being easily top 3 tackles in the draft, I think you can't go wrong here at 6 with a guy like Charles Cross.
We're also doing this in the thought process of we don't know exactly what they're going to do at quarterback yet, and free agency is still going on. Jimmy G is still out there. Baker Mayfield is still out there. There's a couple other guys that still haven't been signed. So we're just going to kind of stay away from quarterback right now. Maybe towards our final mock draft, we'll have it something different, but just go best player available for them.
Yeah.
At least 7th overall. We get the Giants just going big on both edges. They got Elam in there for their 5th pick, and then they also get Kayvon Thibodeau as their 7th pick at their edge. If this scenario were to happen, I think they're more than happy calling it a day and going home early because they did a very good job. There's really not much more to say about that. I think Aiden has kind of separated himself from Kayvon as the best edge in the draft, but there's a lot that still think that Kayvon has got much more potential. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan.
I'll take #8, Garrett Wilson. I think this is just a pick where wide receiver may not have been their go-to at the beginning of the draft process, but losing Calvin Ridley, losing Russell Gage in a trade, you don't really have much other than Cordell Patterson on your team right now. You got to go with someone here. Garrett Wilson honestly can earn a higher draft position here, just based on skill alone. But he's the first wide receiver off the board, deservedly. He can do it all. He's big, he's fast, he's got the routes and the yak. It's really hard to find a fault in his game. So gets a toy for Marcus Mariota and whatever quarterback he's a bridge for. So
Michael.
Number 9 here, the Seattle Seahawks select Jermaine Johnson, edge out of Florida State. I think with the Seahawks, looking at it, they just got Drew Lock from the Broncos, obviously, with that whole Russell Wilson trade. They could be looking quarterback, but they're also linked to Baker Mayfield, and they could be looking at Jimmy Garoppolo. Who knows? Like, it's hard to tell for this, so we're still going like best scenario. And with that, it's either offensive line or defense. So, but we're gonna go on the edge here for the defensive side of the ball, and I think getting a guy like Jermaine Johnson here, the man out of Florida State himself, I think you help boost your defense a little bit and kind of get back up on the defensive side of the ball, because with Drew Lock, you also got Noah Fant, who's a top 15 tight end. He was a first round pick a few years ago. You still got DK. You still got Tyler Lockett. You got a decent running back in Rashad Penny. Your offensive line isn't horrible. It's not the greatest. Obviously, it could be better, but you've lost more pieces on defense, and I think you work on trying to build up your defense here with your first couple picks and then see what you can do on the offensive side of the ball later. But, yeah, Jermaine Johnson out of Penn State, Florida State here at 9.
Yeah, he's kind of like the victim of circumstance playing in Florida State,
Yeah.
who were just awful the last couple years.
Yeah, I think
But
a lot of people look down on him because of that from last year.
his their Senior Bowl week, he blew it up. He looked incredible. He was the best player there, on defense at least. And I don't think that could be argued. He killed all the drills. People are left raving about him. So this doesn't surprise me if he goes top 10. 10th overall, we got the New York Jets taking Sauce Gardner. I like the pick. I'm kind of surprised he's dropped as far as he has, right? Just how it's gone in this scenario. There's really, this would really cap off how great the Jets have done this offseason with their signings and trades that they've done. Getting probably the best defensive end and the best corner in the draft and with your first 10 picks in the first two. It would be a really good thing. I can't speak at the moment. With the 4th and 10th pick in the first round, I think they did a very good job.
yeah.
He's locked down.
Yeah, he's a lockdown corner for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Sauce Gardner recently quoted, or not, he's being quoted as saying he wants to be the best corner in the league as a rookie, and that's just his mentality. So I like that. But yeah, slide on down to number 11 there. The Washington Commanders. Drake Jackson is a great fit for Carson Wentz, and if you're gonna make the most out of Carson Wentz, having Drake London is gonna be key in their offense. Obviously, they have Scary Terry there, McLaurin, who is going to be the better wide receiver, obviously. But you get two great options to throw to. You have a good defense, should be better this year, and you have a lot of pieces across the offense now. So this is the time to go and take the NFC East, which is something that they haven't been able to do for a while. I think Drake London reflects their best option at number 11.
It also opens up the offense. It gives them more versatility. It gives them something that they don't have already that complements Terry.
Yeah.
And like Dylan said, and he would know, benefits Carson Wentz because he's the kind of guy Carson Wentz.
Well, and another thing about Drake London is he is surprisingly very good with the ball in his hand, as far as like yards after catch and everything like that. Took a lot of screens for good reason there at USC. So, yeah, again, it's just more versatility for the offense.
Yep, and I think with the receiver core of Scary Terry, Drake London, and Curtis Samuel, 4.
Right.
Yeah, for Carson Wentz, I think you're doing the guy justice here by getting him.
Better than what the Colts did.
Yeah,
Yeah, somehow he's
Or the
wound up
Eagles.
in a better situation than
Yeah.
the Colts for
which
him
is
personally.
surprising. But I think with those three guys out there, with J.D. McKissick and God, who's their other running back?
Antonio Gibson.
Gibson.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson. I think that's a solid core for him to kind of work around for sure. So I think if they get Drake London here at 11, they're smiling for sure.
And one of the things that isn't really talked about with Drake is he's young. Like I don't even
Oh,
think
yeah.
he'll be 21 when he's drafted. He's still got a lot of room to grow.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mikey,
Yep, with the 12th good lord, 12th with the overall pick here, the 12th overall pick, Minnesota Vikings go Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington. That's a great pick for them. They need the help at corner. They're losing a lot of corners, and getting a guy like Trent McDuffie in a spot like this, I don't think you can do any wrong here with that pick. Trent McDuffie. He's in that no-fly zone in Washington with Kyler Gordon. Those two are insane. All you have to do is watch tape on them. And you can say that they're not thrown at a lot, and there's a reason why they're not thrown at a lot, and they don't put up a lot of stats. It's because they're not thrown at a lot. These dudes are insane. They're lockdown dudes. They're athletic. They're big. They're fast. These dudes are crazy. So, and Trent McDuffie is that dude, and I think the Vikings got to get him here at 12 for sure.
so the only thing that people will have quarrels with it is it's not Derek Stingley. I think we're kind of under the agreement that what he showed was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What people are trying to pick was 3 years ago. Trent McDuffie is still doing that year in, year out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but Washington still doesn't have the same talent that LSU does, so that can't be the excuse or the difference. I just think Trent has been playing better.
Yep.
13th overall, we got the Houston Texans taking Trayvon Walker, edge from Georgia. This pick, if it ends up this way, really makes taking Kyle Hamilton look a lot better. Because, yeah, you're missing out on Aiden Hutchinson, but you're getting a freak athlete. He's probably the best athlete at the edge position in this year's draft with your second first-round picks. So then you're getting best safety, and then you're also still getting the edge need that you wanted. I think it's a great pick for him. Dylan, move on to 14.
Concur, yeah. Jordan Davis, defensive tackle, nose tackle, just all around interior defensive player. Jordan Davis, probably the biggest freak athlete, pound for pound. I would say he's just unreal, big dude. Is going the command double teams, whether it's run blocking or pass protection. He's just someone that you can't have one-on-one with anyone. That's just not what you're going to plan for at all. That means that the Baltimore Ravens get to free up more players on their defensive line to get after Deshaun Watson, which is just the best thing ever. So the Ravens are going to love this pick. Makes beating the Browns that much easier, and their path to the playoffs is sealed with this pick.
Just trying to strike some nerves there. There's a lot of talk from the team that finished fourth in the division. No, it's a great, not just player wise, great pick, but a great scheme fit. They run that 3-4 defense. He's massive enough that he can handle that nose tackle spot, while also being gifted athletically, so he can actually make an impact as well, than besides just being a plug for him. And it does help the Ravens improve quite a bit. Move on to 15. I won't say any more about the Ravens.
That's me, right?
Yeah, I guess we can just do them both here, huh?
Yeah, we'll do them both.
You can just delete it, maybe.
That's cool. All right, so with the first pick here of the Eagles 2 at 15 and 16, with the 15th pick, they're going to go Derek Stingley Jr., corner out of LSU. They need the help on defense. They need corners. They need the edges. They need linebackers. They need a few spots. But I think if Derek Stingley's still here at 15, I think he's got to go. You just have to hope you're getting that freshman Derek Stingley. That dude was on a whole nother level. That dude, that dude was the guy in college his freshman year. He was insane. He's had a few setbacks with some injuries and things, but I think he's still living on that hype of his freshman year. And I think if you draft him and you can pull that freshman year Derek Stingley back into the NFL, I think you get yourself a steal here at 15 because that dude has potential to be one of the best corners in the league as a rookie. So you just got to hope that you can get that freshman Derek Stingley out of him.
And the situation where Stingley was really good in his freshman year was when he had all the talent around him, when LSU was just extremely good. In this situation, unlike the Vikings earlier, the Vikings don't have a great defensive back or secondary at this moment. Stingley would have to be their number one. In this situation, Stingley's going into the Eagles with Darius Slay on the other side and has a good couple safeties. And they have, what's his name? Mills.
I think Mills is on the Patriots.
Yeah, Jalen Mills. Yeah, he's on the Patriots.
But the thing with the Eagles is that their defensive coordinator was a defensive backs coach prior to being a defensive coordinator. So him getting a cornerback that's as prototypical as Derek Stingley and then being able to put a special eye on him, I think that's going to be great for Derek Stingley's future as well.
Yeah, I think just having a couple guys around him to kind of help him in a sense learn and grow, I think, and grow into that NFL. I think the Eagles get a good pick here though at 15 with him. So
yeah,
Avonte Maddox. They both have the colored dreads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and so the next pick, George Karlaftis, is another one where the Eagles love to flood the defensive line, and they'll find something for George Karlaftis to do on that line. So that's a great pick for him. Just the best player at that position in this that's left right now. He may not be the best athlete, but he's definitely the best player at that position. So, like with everyone else being taken ahead of him.
yeah,
You don't need to be a freak athlete to be impactful and a great player in the NFL. So,
guys do it all the time in the NFL.
Yeah.
Pick Dylan.
Oh yeah, Devontae Wyatt. This is one where a lot of people had Jordan Davis before, but Jordan Davis is looking to be moving up the boards. But Devontae Wyatt accomplishes the same thing. He's just not as freaky, even though he still is a freak athlete. So Chargers bolster their defense, make it where it's harder to score against them, but also allowing Justin Herbert to run a shot over your defense. So I think Devontae Wyatt is a great selection here. There's other avenues that they can go, but this Devontae Wyatt is a freak athlete.
It helps them play the way that they're going to want to. Mm-hmm. They have a high-powered offense. They'll probably be playing with the lead. And then you just bolstered your defense a ton. You spent like all offseason just improving that defense. Just keep improving that defensive line. Don't let teams be able to just run it on you, eat with ease, like they were all last year, which is why they got into so many games. Now you got Khalil Mack. Now you got Bosa. Now you also got Wyatt. That helps shore up that defensive line, and then you can just get after the quarterback while teams are trying to play catch-up. It's very advantageous for him. Mikey?
Yep, 18th overall pick here is the New Orleans Saints, and they're going to go Trevor Penny, tackle out of Northern Iowa. I think with losing Teron Armstead to the Dolphins, and you guys got Jameis Winston back, and I think you need to be able to protect Jameis Winston because he went down with an injury last year. He also had problems on the offensive line with injuries, and I think getting a guy like Trevor Penny here at 18 with what he can do, because the dude's massive, he's mean, he bullies people, he don't care who you are, what you've done, where you've been, don't matter. It's Trevor Penny time on the line when it comes down to it. And I think getting a guy with that mentality on the Saints, I think it's a match made in heaven for him. So I think the Saints are smiling here with this pick at 18 with Trevor Penny.
Yeah,
I think my man crush is Treylon Burks in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say that Trevor Penny is probably Mikey's.
I like Trevor Penny.
Mikey likes this dude a lot.
Oh yeah, I get down with him.
19th, we got the Eagles finishing up their their final 3 of the first round, taking Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. I think this is too far for him. I don't think he falls this far, per se. But I think it's a pretty good chance he does end up on the Eagles. And I think it's just a great fit. I think everyone sees it. It's a good positional value for the way it is in the draft right now. It's a good team need, and he's a good player. And he fits the style that they're going to be running. And they clearly needed linebackers this last year, so this helps them quite a bit.
Yeah, this might not be the only linebacker that they take in the draft, too. They might load up later with just more pieces, but yeah, no, I think this is a very solid pick. He should go higher, so.
All right, 20th, Dylan.
Bernard Ryman, him and Trevor Penny are the tackles they're graded out very well. They look very good on tape. It's just they don't have as much high quality talent that they're going against compared to like Evan Neal, Sticky Icky, and Charles Cross. But these are 2 tackles that are going to be in your franchise for a long time. Bernhard Raimann is a really cool story. He's coming from Austria, I believe, and he came in as a tight end for Central Michigan, or maybe it was a JUCO, but he's now switched to tackle and has looked very natural at the position. So, I mean, he's still got a lot to grow into at that position. Steelers know how to get that out of him, though. So this would be a great pick, and it stops Myles Garrett from getting to the quarterback as much, and we love that.
Child, please. please go ahead and put Bernhard Raimann against Myles Garrett. It'd be great.
I just got to throw that in there. Got to keep it fun.
Yeah. If only there were teams, that bothered the Colts.
What?
Michael,
What?
it's your turn, buddy.
Oh, yep. 21st overall pick here. Andrew Booth Jr. Cornerback out of Clemson. Reading more about this guy and watching things about him, it makes me love this pick even more. Andrew Booth, dude's insane. He's athletic. He's physical. He makes great open field tackles. What?
Loves the tackle.
Yep. Right. Loves the tackle. Doesn't mind getting down and dirty. His ideal role in the NFL is an outside corner, and that's exactly what we need because we have Jonathan Jones as our slot corner. So pairing him up with Jonathan Jones at the next level, especially because the Patriots run man coverage a lot, and that's what Andrew Booth specializes in. He's really good at man coverage, and that's exactly what we do. And I think with him still on the board, out of all the other corners that have already gone, I think seeing him still on the board, it's kind of like a match made in heaven. He's exactly what we're looking for, and he fits the bill here at the Patriots. And I think, especially with the guys that we've lost at corner, J.C. Jackson, I miss you. Come back. But yeah, Andrew Booth here at 21. I don't think the Patriots can go wrong with this pick to kind of help revive and rejuvenate that cornerback room for sure. So Andrew Booth, Malcolm Butler, and Jonathan Jones. No fly zone. No, just kidding. No, but I like this pick here for the Patriots. He fits the bill, and he's exactly what the Patriots are looking for in a defensive back. So, yeah, I love this pick.
Alrighty, well, with the biggest shock of the drafts, by far, this next pick, we got the Green Bay Packers taking Jamison Williams.
Thank
I know,
God.
first round wide receiver. It's shocking. No quarterback here. We thought about Kenny Pickett, but we decided, Kenny Pickett probably won't be able to play wide receiver very well. So we went with Jamison Williams to probably help out their quarterback. Not really helping out Aaron Rodgers because that's not really what matters, but helping out Jordan Love in 3 to 4 years from now when that actually matters. So we went with wide receiver. All jokes aside, I do like the Packers. This is a great pickup for him. I think Jamison Williams, more and more I get into the draft, I honestly just think he's the best wide receiver in it. Period. Like, if he wasn't hurt, I don't think this would be
he'd be where Garrett Wilson is.
Yeah, I think so. So, I think this is a great option. You have to find somebody for Aaron Rodgers to throw the football to, and you're not going to get Devontae Adams, so build him a core.
Yep.
And I think this is a good start with Jamison Williams. Dylan?
Yeah, Tyler Linderbaum, center out of Iowa. I'm going to the Arizona Cardinals. The thing with the Cardinals is they do need to kind of just shore up whatever you can on the interior of that offensive line. Um, just you got to keep Kyler Murray healthy. You got to keep him on the field and everything like that. I think Tyler Linderbaum's a blue chip type center. Eventually, could be seen as a higher selection in this draft. But if you're the Cardinals, you need help in all three offensive line positions on the interior. Go ahead and get the best one, Tyler Linderbaum. Makes your life easier. He's a very smart dude, but he's also very capable at the position. He'll probably be the best center within 2 years of being in the league.
Um, you can just look at the playoff game that they played, and it was just absolutely anemic. Like it was just ugly football from the Cardinals, and because Aaron Donald destroyed that interior offensive line. And obviously, there's only one Aaron Donald, except you're in the division where you have to play that twice a year. So, build to beat your division.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good start. Michael?
Yep. 24th pick here. The Dallas Cowboys go Nakobe Dean, linebacker out of Georgia. I think Nakobe Dean might be falling a little bit in this draft, kind of just how this scenario is going. But obviously, 1A, 1B with Devin Lloyd at linebacker there. Nakobe Dean, I think with the Cowboys selecting him here, it kind of gives Micah Parsons a little bit more freedom on that defense. You can intermix people then, and then kind of losing Randy Gregory is a little bit of a setback too. So you kind of need like that main edge guy now, and I think Micah Parsons has shown that he can play edge fairly well in the NFL. So I think kind of moving Micah Parsons there full time and then getting a guy like Nakobe Dean to slot in there on your defense, I don't think you can go wrong here, especially because Nakobe Dean has that leadership trait. He's got a good football IQ. He brings everyone up around him, wants the best out of everybody. And I think getting a guy like that on your defense to kind of pair up with Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. I think the Cowboys are smiling with this pick for sure at 24.
We were slightly hesitant because they did re-sign Leighton Vander Esch
Yep.
for a linebacker position, but it was only a 1-year deal, so they're not expecting that to last.
They just needed
with that
something.
contract. Yeah. So you still get Nakobe Dean, and then if Leighton Vander Esch does great, then great. But you can also get two linebackers that do really well.
Exactly.
Moving on to the 25th pick, we got the Buffalo Bills taking Cair Elam. I think this is a good fit. I think potentially Kyler Gordon's probably a slightly better corner per se, but the way the Bills play their defense, Cair Elam is a much better fit. He's very aggressive. He's very in your face, very quick. He's very scrappy. He's a much better man corner than Kyler Gordon, who's definitely much more comfortable in zone. I shouldn't say he can't man coverage. He just played zone coverage. That was what Washington liked to run. And I think this is a good pick. I think that Buffalo, as well as they've been doing and how they've been making good signings, they have a hole in cornerback and secondary that they do need to fill. So, Dill?
Yeah, Chris Olave. I mean, there's a lot to say about Chris Olave. He's talked about a ton. Just to boil it down, though, he's very fast. He's great at route running, and he's didn't do anything but score touchdowns at Ohio State for the last 3 years. That's why when Gage asked me, "What do you not want the Tennessee Titans to do?" I said, "Take Chris Olave here," because it's just you don't want to have that problem as your second wide receiver to have to deal with, and him and AJ Brown complement each other way too well. And then so you get too comfortable, or not too comfortable. You get too focused on stopping Derrick Henry, and Chris Olave can take the top off your defense, or you get too focused on stopping AJ Brown, then Chris Olave can take the top off your defense. And it's just, no matter what you're doing, Titans would have an answer for what you're doing. So I think this is just an embarrassment of riches at this point for the Titans, and they get to do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, they try to create a receiving core last year with Julio Jones, and I think with trading for Robert Woods and getting Chris Olave, that finally will lighten the box. That finally will make a team not have to just worry about Derrick Henry and living and dying by just hoping AJ Brown doesn't murder them.
Yeah.
Now they have to actually worry about a legitimate receiving core. And it's not like Ryan Tannehill can't throw the football. So now you have a legitimate full core that you have to worry about the entire time. And that was their best year when they had what's his name on Corey Davis and AJ Brown together. When they were all playing very well together is when Derrick Henry was at his best.
And Chris Olave is a lot better than Corey Davis.
Yeah, as a prospect so far. I think it translates though. So
yes.
We got the 27th, Michael.
Yep, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The 27th pick goes Zion Johnson, guard out of Boston College. I think this guy rose up on a lot of people's boards after the the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Senior Bowl. He put on a good show there. Did well at the Senior Bowl, and I think with the Buccaneers losing a guy like Alex Kappa to the Bengals, that guard spot is wide open, and I think just going all in right here with your first pick, probably getting probably one of the best guards in the draft, and just being able to slot him right into your offensive line and rebuilding that to make sure that you're still protecting Tom Brady and there's no holes in that line, because their offensive line was pretty set, solid. Those dudes played like almost every snap last year, so it's going to suck to see Kappa go, but I think getting a guy like Zion Johnson to slot right in there where Alex Kappa was, I don't think you can go wrong with Zion Johnson here for sure.
If the Buccaneers are going to win another Super Bowl, it's going to be because of Tom Brady.
Yep.
And you got to protect Tom Brady. Get him every weapon you possibly can to secure him, and this is just one of those avenues.
Yep.
You already got the wide receivers.
Yep.
Now get that offensive line. That's more important than anything else.
Yep.
28th overall, we got the Green Bay Packers going with another wide receiver. Now, we should preface this with saying we don't think this is going to happen, right? This is what we would do. That's just why you have only seen one quarterback off the board so far. Obviously, I don't think the Green Bay Packers will take 2 wide receivers in the first round. However, I think it's probably the best avenue for him.
Oh, yeah.
You lost Devontae Adams. You're not going to get him back, but you can rebuild him in the aggregate. Get Treylon Burks. Get a different wide receiver than Jamison Williams.
Money balls.
Yeah, I know you got that, huh? You said that. If only we knew how to edit. We can throw that in there. And this gives a different depth, a variety. You got Jamison Williams, who one is just an elite, probably going to be an elite receiver in the NFL, and secures that Valdez-Scantling role that's kind of gone. Except he won't drop those deep balls that hit him directly in his hands for touchdowns. And then Treylon Burks is kind of more of that big body receiver that they need.
Yeah, and if there's any sort of negotiations from Aaron Rodgers' side after knowing that Devontae Adams was going to be traded, it was probably, hey, we're taking 2 wide receivers, or at least one at the very least. We're taking at least one. But that must have been said at least, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Gage.
Mikey?
I was going to say my 2 cents on, honestly, them taking 2 wide receivers in the first round. I don't see, if that actually happened, I don't see a problem with it. Because you already have a good defense. Your offensive line isn't horrible. And you're losing all your wide receivers. You have one of the best running back duos in the NFL. Probably top 4 to 5. Yeah. So, but easily top 5 running back duo in the NFL. And you're losing all your wide receivers, and you need someone for Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball. So taking 2 wide receivers like this in the first round, I don't see why not. You have everything else besides wide receivers. And getting 2 of the top 3 or 2 of the top 5 wide receivers in the draft, I don't see an issue with taking 2 wide receivers like that in the first round. I think it's something that probably should be done.
And I know the draft is generally used to help build for your team in the future, except the Packers are building right now. Like they sign Aaron Rodgers, they have their window right now. You can't keep pushing it off and building for the future. And they don't even really do like for the next year in the future. They do for like 4 years down the line, which is just not helping them. Just go all in, get what you can, and help Aaron Rodgers. We'll move on to the 29th pick. Oh, also we should preference this with, I guess there's reports coming out right now that the Packers are looking to explore trade options right now with some wide receivers. They're looking at DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and they also just hit up Houston for Brandon Cooks. So this is before if the Packers sign anybody or trade for anybody, this signing or that happened. Currently, they just have Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, and no one even knows his name.
Amari Rodgers.
Yes, Amari Rodgers. Thank you.
I really like Amari Rodgers coming out of the draft last year, but
All right. Well, 29th, Dill.
yeah, Travis Jones. This is a great option, honestly. If there wasn't Jordan Davis and Devontae Wyatt, which I feel like are just generational types of defensive tackles, Travis Jones would be viewed as a first rounder, no doubt. But I think he gets a little watered down as far as like not being viewed as a first rounder because of the other two. But Travis Jones is a freak, dude, and not many people have seen his tape. Obviously, since he is a first or second rounder, but he is just a freak of nature as well in his own right, just as far as his skill and his ability to get into the backfield and everything like that. I think Chiefs need stuff like that. I think obviously we feel that way as well, and you could throw in, a wide receiver here or whatnot, but Travis Jones will probably make the biggest impact for the Chiefs next year, out of anyone else that we could have put there right now.
Yeah, you get the Jones' duo in there with Chris and Travis, and that'll help a lot. One thing to keep in mind, if you put Travis Jones alongside Jordan Davis on Georgia's defensive line, what do you think Travis Jones would do?
Yeah, exactly.
If you would put Travis Jones next to Devontae Wyatt, like he was one of the only good players on UConn that you had to worry about. Whereas Georgia had 11 of the 11 players that you had to worry about on that defense.
Yeah.
Much different in the talent that they played around. I think Travis, maybe not like in the media's eyes per se, but if you look, there's a lot of like buzz going around that he's moving up. I would not be surprised if he goes in the first round. Mikey with the second Chiefs pick.
Yep, 30th here. The Kansas City Chiefs go Kyler Gordon, cornerback out of Washington. So the other Washington corner off the board. Chiefs need the help at corner. They got rid of Travarius Ward. They're slim at the cornerback position for depth-wise, and they don't really have a good secondary all around. They just did sign Justin Reed, though, which is nice, but you also lost Tyrann Mathieu. And kind of in the process of that, he hasn't re-signed, but he hasn't gone anywhere, but probably not going to get him back. So,
well, I'm wondering if that's gonna. I wonder because that they made it known that they probably weren't gonna sign him back when they got Justin Reed, right?
Yeah,
like that was kind of the replacement. But then they traded Tyreek Hill, so I wonder what they're gonna do with that cap space because they have room to make signings. I just haven't heard anything of what they're going for. I'm curious what they'll do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but I think with the situation that we are given right now from actual real life of what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs, I think getting a guy like Kyler Gordon that can easily come in and be probably a starter from day one just because of who else you guys have at corner.
Who did they lose? They lost one of their corners.
Travarius Ward.
Yeah. Yeah, they need corners.
They need corners. Their next one is L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, Ward was the decent one.
Yeah, Ward was their good one, and he's gone now. So you're looking to replace Travarius Ward, and I think getting a guy like Kyler Gordon, especially out of the cornerback group, is so deep this year too. It's one of the deepest groups in the draft, and the top 5 to 10 are they're all insane. So Kyler Gordon, part of that no-fly zone with Trent McDuffie there at Washington, he's just as good. He's just as good as Trent McDuffie, and I think the Chiefs are smiling with these two picks here.
And with the way the board fell, if you're taking a wide receiver here, you're kind of reaching.
Yes, you're
The
reaching.
top five already left. Get yourself the help on defense.
Oh, but Christian Watson.
I don't know. I think he's good. I just don't think that's worth a first round pick.
No, he's not a first
Like,
round
I
pick.
don't
That
think
you're
I
you're
just, I
reaching.
just, cause
Don't
I could
think
just
he's
see
reaching.
that comment coming.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's a valid thing. I guess there's like buzz coming around that like Christian Watson might end up going in the first round now. I just think that's well, it's because there's so many wide receiver needy teams, and the wide receiver class is so deep, which is why I
Yeah.
think there's going to be a heavy run on them. So I don't know, but we'll move on from them. We'll move to the 31st, the Super Bowl runner-ups, the Cincinnati Bengals. We have them taking Trey McBride, tight end from Colorado State.
sick pick.
So we're trying to sit here and think like what is their biggest need, right? There's been a big run on corner, kind of a reach if you're going for corners anywhere. They obviously just shored up their entire offensive line. Basically, they went crazy and did everything they needed to protect Joey B. They have all their wide receivers. Joe Mixon finally has the best offensive line he's going to run behind for the first time. They have a good defense. Why not give Joe Burrow another tight end? He really liked Who's Your Mama. Unfortunately, they lost him to the Jets.
Yep.
And now you get a guy, Trey McBride, who's the best tight end.
Already
in the draft. And yeah, he's already better. And this is not only just really beneficial for Joe right now, but this is also going to be beneficial to the Bengals in the future. They're not going to be able to keep Tyler Boyd and the depth that they have at wide receivers because they have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase that they're going to have to pay. And you just saw how Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams were paid, and that's just going to kind of become the norm. Jamar Chase is going to demand that. You saw how Deshaun Watson was going to be paid. Joey Burrow is going to demand something along those lines. Getting a rookie tight end on a rookie deal that can be beneficial for you guys in the next 3 or 4 years is a really good option for him. I don't care for this pick.
Yeah.
I don't like it. So.
Yeah, the Browns don't have any player on their defense that can stop a Trey McBride, so it's just really terrible for them.
There's not a player on the freaking Bengals offense that can scare the Browns defense. Which is why they got their butt kicked twice last year by the Browns.
Yeah, because they didn't have Trey McBride. So, moving on.
No, because they can literally just put Denzel Ward on Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase gets shut down all game long, and then defeats the purpose of their defense or their offense. That's why.
Because they don't have Trey McBride, but let's move on.
We got Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah.
He's okay.
Okay.
Literally, he's okay, but
He's better than
but his initials are
Leonard.
okay.
He's J-OK.
He's just okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then the final pick, got the Detroit
take this
Lions,
one.
Dylan. Yeah.
Yes.
I was waiting for you.
You were starting like you were saying it, so I was waiting. But no, Daxton Hill.
Sandwiches.
Daxton Hill is someone that the Lions just need defensive backs right now. They have such a need for just anyone that can play a position that's a defensive back position. Obviously, they have more needs than that as well. But Okuda is fighting for a spot right now, which is not necessarily what you want from your former top 5 pick at cornerback. And Daxton Hill, he's not older as a prospect, but he's not super young like a Derek Stingley or whoever else. But Daxton Hill can play safety. He can play corner. He can play slot. He's kind of your Swiss Army knife. People compare him to Tyrann Mathieu. Obviously, different players. But Daxton Hill gets you someone that he just understands each position. So whether he's playing safety or corner or slot, he's got that understanding behind him, and he's going to help his teammates out quite a bit. That Michigan defense, I don't know how much other people have heard about them, but they came together as a team very, very well and had their best season. And a lot of it, they gave credit to the players actually coming up and being leaders, and Daxton Hill is one of them. So I think this guy, intangibles aren't necessarily the craziest ever, But just his understanding of the positions, his ability to play those positions, and his leadership, I think it's going to mean a lot for those Lions. And it starts the ball rolling on what they're starting to put together on defense. So I think that's a great way to end their first round.
Well, Mikey, lead us out.
Oh yeah, that is all. So if you guys enjoyed the video, once again, make sure you guys smash that like button. Comment what you guys would have taken for your team instead, or if you like what we chose here, just comment anything. We love comments around here. For anyone watching the video, we appreciate you guys greatly. We appreciate any support that you guys show on these videos, and no matter what, we're going to keep putting them out. So with all that being said, we will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.